Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for hopping on and for joining us tonight. This is our seventh monthly wellness Zoom. So I can't believe it's been 7 months since we started doing these, but I love these. I look forward to them every month. And honestly, it gives me a chance to kind of nerd out over different health topics and wellness topics and share with you guys. And I just really enjoy having these conversations. So if you're new here, if you haven't been to a wellness Zoom, my name is Brittany Raup, and I have about 20 years experience in health coaching, personal training. I love all things wellness, fitness, health, nutrition. It's just my jam. And so we do these calls every month just to have wellness conversations and so that I can share some things with you that hopefully support you on your wellness journey. Okay, so our topic for tonight is God's Farmacy. And yes, that is an intentional typo. Okay, I know how to spell pharmacy, but the point is that there are so many amazing foods and herbs and fruits and vegetables that God has given us that really do have health benefits, even healing benefits. And so we are going to dive into a few of them tonight. And I'm going to share a quote or a thought that has really stuck with me over my wellness journey, and that's that every food that we choose is either slowly healing us or slowly killing us. Nothing is really neutral. And it doesn't mean that you have to eat 100% perfectly all the time. I certainly do not, right? And there's absolutely an element to just enjoying your food and having the treat every now and then. Like, I do believe in balance, but it is important to know that, like, nothing is neutral. The things that we choose to put into our bodies are either having a healing effect or they are having a harmful effect. And I think that we generally know what the healthy foods are, right? Like, if I showed you, a McDonald's cheeseburger or like a grass-fed steak, like, you're gonna know, okay, like, there's a healthy choice. So we know what the healthy foods are, but when we really dive into the research of just how amazing our nutrition can be and how much goodness God has packed into the design, especially of plants, it is really cool. So I just want to share a few with you tonight. Obviously, we can't dive into every nutritious food. We would be here for weeks, right? But I'm going to highlight just a few that I've been learning about and a few that I found in my backyard this summer. So this should be hopefully a fun conversation. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few different types of foods, and I will get a little bit into the science behind them because it's really, really fascinating, and I'm hoping that you'll find it interesting too. So the first kind of group of foods we're going to talk about is functional mushrooms, and these are called nature's adaptogens. Okay, so the first thing we need to know is, like, what is an adaptogen, right? Have you guys heard that term? Maybe you can tell me in the chat, like, yes, I've heard of that, even if you're not sure what it means. Adaptogen. So adaptogens are natural compounds that are found in certain plants and particularly mushrooms that help the body adapt to stress and support balance. So right there in that word adaptogen, it's helping your body adapt. So instead of forcing your body in one direction, they help the body respond more appropriately to what it needs. So think of adaptogens as like a thermostat for your body. A thermostat doesn't always heat a room or always cool the room, right? It adjusts based on what's needed. So adaptogens work similarly by helping your body maintain balance, especially during times of physical, mental, or emotional stress, which we all go through those seasons, right? So adaptogens are just one example of the incredible wisdom that's found in creation, right? They work alongside your body's natural defenses and systems rather than overpowering them, right? We don't want to override our systems. We just want nutrients that come alongside and help our body do what it needs to do. So we find adaptogens in mushrooms, and mushrooms are not just a pizza topping. They have many unique compounds. And I'm just going to highlight a few. Obviously, there's a lot more mushrooms than we have on the screen here, but these are some really, really nutrient dense, high adaptogen mushrooms. So turkey tail is the first one, and you can see that on the upper right side of the picture. So turkey tail is the gut and immune mushroom. This is particularly supporting your immune system and your microbiome, so your gut balance of good and bad bacteria. And you can recognize it sometimes out in the wild. Like this is one that might grow on stumps in your backyard or on trees, and it has that fan-shaped appearance that looks like a turkey tail. That's why it's called turkey tail. It's rich in beta glucans and a whole bunch of crazy things, like hard to pronounce, but they are abbreviated so that it has compounds called PSK and PSP, and they stand for long words. I won't even try, but they've been extensively studied and they act as prebiotics. So they help the good bacteria in your gut to grow and regulate your inflammation response. And actually, in Japan, turkey tail is used alongside cancer treatments as an approved therapy, like an approved cancer therapy. That's how potent it is. So that is super cool. And it's been that way for decades. Like turkey tail has been used in Japan as cancer treatment for decades. Why don't we use it here? I don't know, but it's really, really well studied. Okay, so that's turkey tail. Lion's mane, that is that white, hairy looking thing. Isn't that cool? If I saw that growing, there's no way I would pick that and eat it. Okay, like there is no way, but this is actually edible. It's called lion's mane. It's known for brain and nervous system support, so it supports healthy cognitive function, and it has been studied for its relationship with nerve growth factor, like your body creating new neural pathways. So it's traditionally been used for focus and memory and mental clarity. I love, Alicia, how your face is just like mind blown right now. I am loving it. Thank you. I do. I think this stuff is so cool. And you can see why it's called lion's mane. It literally looks like a lion's mane. And so this is the brain mushroom. Super cool. Reishi, which is bottom left there, the kind of reddish looking one. This one is known for balance and immune support. So it contains compounds that support immune function. And it has been called the mushroom of immortality, which is pretty awesome. Little fountain of youth there in that mushroom. And it's often used for relaxation and stress support. So these, like, it's the same plant, right? They're all mushrooms, but the variety of nutrition that we can get from them and the health benefits are amazing. And then the bottom right one that looks like the little fingers coming up is cordyceps. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but cordyceps. And this one is known for energy and endurance. It supports your cellular energy production. So you might have heard of your mitochondria in your cell. They're like your cell's little energy factories. It supports your mitochondria and it's used for stamina and performance. How cool, right? Like these are things that just grow outside. Now, I will caution you, you can't just go eat mushrooms out of your yard unless you know what you're doing because you could die. Okay. Like don't go foraging unless you know. Even like a couple weeks ago, I found what I thought was turkey tail growing in my yard, and I was like, I'm gonna harvest this. We're gonna make it into a tincture. I was so excited. It was false turkey tail. Now, it's not poisonous, so I wouldn't have killed anybody, but you have to look at the underside of the mushroom to see the spores. And does it have spores or does it have teeth, like little pokey down things? And so I learned something new. I'm like, oh, that actually isn't turkey tail, even though the top of the mushroom looked exactly like it. So a lot of times with these functional mushrooms, we will take them in a supplement, just a little bit safer, a little bit easier. You know, you don't just find these things in the grocery store. Yes, there are books, and I will warn you that the apps that recognize plants are not foolproof. Okay, so I used the Seek app to scan those mushrooms. It told me turkey tail. It actually was not, but it was a book that confirmed for me that it was not. So love the books, or like find someone who's an expert forager and have them, check it out. It is super, super fun to find things in the wild. I'm going to give you guys another example of something we found. But I would say buy these in supplement form. If you can find them, use them. Super good for you. The thing to remember with mushrooms, especially, is immune support. Like immune support, cellular support, they are just phenomenal. Okay, so nerding out over mushrooms, they're so cool. Whoops, I went too far. Can I go back? Yes. Okay. So let's get into some herbs. Now, I love cooking with herbs. They are so fragrant. I think that if I was getting married, I would just hold a bouquet of basil and sage because it smells so good. I wish I would have done that. Because I pick it from the garden and I just like bury my face in it. It's so just, oh, so good. So I wanted to go over sage and rosemary and turmeric. It's not a herb, it's a root. I know, but we're going to talk about these three. So the the reason I wanted to talk about sage is my dad had a huge sage bush, multiple bushes, and he gave me a bunch. I love the way it smells. I know it's great in cooking, like in your soups, especially those fall flavors like butternut squash soup, stuffing sage into your turkey. If you bake a turkey at Thanksgiving, so yummy. But I'm like, I know this is really good for you. I want to look it up. So sage is called the wise herb, and it has some amazing benefits. It's rich in polyphenols and antioxidants. And so let's talk about what polyphenols are, because that might be another one of those words that you hear like tossed around. Polyphenols are natural plant compounds that help to protect plants from stress and damage. So they are like armor for a plant. And what happens is when we eat them, they support our body's own defenses. Okay, so it's like we are taking the protective benefits that the plant has and it is coming into us. They are powerful antioxidants and they're found in many colorful fruits and vegetables, herbs, teas, and spices. So think of polyphenols as protective armors that help the plant to survive. And when we consume them, we get the benefits too. They support your body's antioxidant defense, lowering inflammation, heart and blood vessel health, and healthy brain and aging. So sage is rich in polyphenols. Some of the other herbs and the berries that we talk about will be the same. Sage has been traditionally used for digestion and immune support. It's also studied for cognitive support. It has antimicrobial properties, meaning like it can kill bad bacteria. And it's used for menopause support too. There's actually studies about like sage taken orally every single day, really helping women with hot flashes and menopause symptoms. So that was a new one to me. I was very surprised by that. And sage can be also made into a tea. So if you have sage leaves, you can just soak them in hot water and drink it like tea. And I teach my kids Latin. We, do classical education. So I love learning like the root of different words. And the word sage comes from a French word, which comes from a Latin word, salvia, which means to save or to heal. So this is like a healing herb. That's what it was named for. Really, really cool. Okay. Let's talk about rosemary. You can see rosemary on the left of the screen. This is the memory herb. So it's really rich in antioxidants. And I wanted to just take a minute to define what antioxidants are. I think we've talked about it on a previous wellness Zoom, but we talk about antioxidants all the time, right? You need antioxidants. This is rich in antioxidants. Like what are antioxidants? They fight free radicals. So if you imagine an apple cut in half and you left it on the counter, what would happen to that apple? Does it stay white? No, very quickly, sometimes surprisingly quickly, it starts to turn brown, right? What's happening is oxidation. This is a natural chemical process. Yeah, hopefully it turns brown. If it doesn't turn brown, that wasn't an apple or it's got tons of preservatives on it, right? So that's called oxidation. It's a natural chemical process, and the same thing happens in our bodies every single day. So you have these free radicals. They are unstable molecules that are missing an electron. Okay. Because they're unstable, they steal electrons from nearby cells to stabilize. And this can damage your cell membranes, your protein, your DNA. That's called oxidative stress. So there's always these free radicals in our body. It's like a normal thing, but they are grabbing electrons from other atoms. You can think of free radicals like little sparks flying off a campfire. Like it's okay, but if it gets out of control, you're going to have like a fire, right? That's what happens in our bodies. Our bodies naturally produce free radicals during exercise, during metabolism, when we're fighting infection. So like it's normal, it's fine, but they can also become excessive if we have poor diet, chronic stress, a lot of pollution exposure, smoking, that kind of thing. So this is where antioxidants come in. Antioxidants are molecules that can donate an electron to a free radical without becoming unstable themselves. Super, super cool, right? So they neutralize the free radical before it can cause damage. So antioxidants are like your body's peacekeepers. So instead of allowing free radicals to keep stealing electrons from healthy cells, those antioxidants step in and they're like, here, take mine. And amazingly, the antioxidant remains stable. So super cool. So when you see that a food is high in antioxidants, That's what that means. And I loved this analogy as I was just studying about it. Imagine someone really needs a dollar, like they are desperate for a dollar. So a free radical needs a dollar. They're running around, they're stealing dollars from everyone nearby. And an antioxidant walks over and it's like, I'll give you a dollar. And now everyone else gets to keep their money. Okay. Balance is restored because you had a generous antioxidant. That is what's happening. So when I say rosemary is high in antioxidants, that's what I want you to think about going on in your body. It's like putting out lots of little fires because those free radicals are chilling out. Okay. So it's associated with memory and mental clarity. Again, talking about rosemary, it's a great culinary herb because it's so easy to use. It smells great. You can use it as a spice on chicken, in soups. If you guys have a way that you like to use rosemary, pop it in the chat. I feel like these herbs, like I can just eat an herb salad and I just love them. I think they're so good. But add them in, like add them to your soups, add them to your meats because you're packing a lot of extra nutrition there. You want to go, yes, put fresh herbs in everything, seriously, and grow herbs or like pick them up at the grocery store. They really, really are amazing. Okay, so let's talk about turmeric real quick. I'm guessing you guys have heard of turmeric. That's the bottom right yellow looking powder there. And this is a root. It's called the golden root. I have a little quiz for you guys. What's the difference between curry and turmeric? Does anybody know? Because I didn't. I'm like, they kind of look the same, they kind of taste the same. What's the difference? If you have a guess, you can put it in the chat, and then I'll give you the answer to the quiz. Turmeric is a single spice. So turmeric is a root. It's the one thing, turmeric. Curry is a multi-spice blend that includes turmeric. Yep. Alicia, you would have nailed it. So that was new to me. I didn't really know the difference. I use them both, but that's what it is. So turmeric is a single spice. It's called the golden root. It contains curcumin, which is a really powerful plant compound. And the thing to remember with turmeric is that it reduces inflammation. It helps your body have a healthy inflammatory response. So if you struggle with pain, with swelling, with just chronic inflammation in your body, turmeric is a great one to add in. It can be made into golden milk, which is like turmeric tea. I always enjoy that in the fall. If you want a recipe, shoot me a message. I'll send it to you. It's easy to make at home. It's spicy, it's warm, it's so, so good. And you are like crushing inflammation in your body when you drink turmeric tea. It's antioxidant rich. So again, it's donating to those free radicals. And it's delicious. If you like Indian food, if you like spicy food, turmeric can be a really easy one to add in. Okay, so those are our herbs and roots. There are so many more, guys. You could talk for days about all the different herbs and their benefits. But I want to go over a few berries. So berries are ones that we think of antioxidants for sure, right? We know we've got a lot of vitamin C. We've got a lot of antioxidants in our berries. We're going to talk about blueberries first. Oh, my little picture didn't show up, but that's okay. So this is the brainberry. Blueberries contain anthocyanins. That is the compound responsible for their blue color. And anthocyanin, so any like blue or purple fruit, so like blueberries, blackberries, cherries, and then your purple foods like purple grapes, purple carrots, purple sweet potatoes, purple cabbage, they all have anthocyanins, and they are really important for brain health, heart health, high antioxidants, healthy inflammation, and eye health. Really good for your eyes. And the deeper the color, the more anthocyanin those foods have. Okay, so those blue and purple foods. Yeah, blueberries especially good for your brain health. They do have those polyphenols we talked about. They do have antioxidants as well. So I love this because when you think about our variety of food, not only in flavor but also in color, God didn't just make beautiful food for us to look at. The very colors He placed in the plants often come with specific, powerful compounds that are designed to protect them, the plant, and also protect us. So when we eat the rainbow, we are receiving some of those protective benefits as well. And how easy is it to eat blueberries? I mean, right? Add it to your smoothies, put it on your Greek yogurt, put it on your steel cut oats. I was just chatting with a friend today. She said she goes and picks blueberries, gets like pounds and pounds of them, and then just washes them, puts them flat in freezer bags, and just freezes them flat. So they're just like easy to store, ready to pull out, and she just uses them all year. I'm like, brilliant, right? Great way to have fresh blueberries all the time. I also wanted to highlight wine berries. So that's my daughter. She was like, Mom, I'm in my pajamas. Like, it's okay, nobody cares. But she loves to forage and go out. She's always covered in poison ivy because of this. But she found wine berries in our yard. And after extensive checking, making sure they weren't poisonous, all of the things, and those books are so helpful. And they describe not only what the fruit should look like, but also the root, right? So, like, if you look at poison ivy and you look at black raspberry leaves, they are almost identical, but poison ivy will never have thorns on the stem, and black raspberry does. So if you see thorns, it's like, okay, that's not poison ivy. So just a fun fact. But these little wine berries that might be growing in your backyard somewhere, have a really, really rich nutritional benefit. They've got tons of vitamin C, tons of fiber, and antioxidants. So eating them helps to lower your cell damage, supports digestion, and boosts your immune health. So just that little handful of wine berries, so fun to pick and wash and then enjoy. And then chokeberries are on the bottom there. These also might be growing in your yard. I looked into them because they are in a superfoods mix that I have been drinking, and so I've been diving into the ingredients there. Chokeberries have powerful antioxidant protection. They support heart health and they help to control blood sugar. Really important to have balanced blood sugar. And they're dark berries, so they've got that anthocyanin, high levels of vitamin C, high levels of polyphenol. So they're just like packed with a whole bunch of stuff. And you'll start to notice some themes, brain health, gut support, blood sugar balance, like all of these superfoods share all of these benefits, which is really cool. Okay, so those are some berries for you. And then we're going to talk about spirulina. If you've heard of spirulina, you can tell me in the chat. Maybe this is familiar to you. This is the green superfood from the sea. Okay, so spirulina comes from naturally occurring blue-green algae. So it's actually a type of cyanobacteria, so like a blue bacteria that grows in warm alkaline bodies of water. Okay, it's an algae. It thrives in places where other organisms can't easily grow because it prefers warm temperatures, mineral-rich water, and alkaline environments. So alkaline is the opposite of acidic. It's a high pH. So spirulina has been found in lake regions like Lake Texcoco in Mexico, and that's where the Aztecs would harvest spirulina as a food source. Lake Chad in Africa, where communities have consumed it for a long, long time. And today, when you find spirulina in like powder form or supplement form, it's usually grown in controlled freshwater ponds or tanks so that it can be monitored for purity and quality and then easily harvested. What's really cool about spirulina is it's a high quality plant protein. Okay, so you probably don't look at this and think protein, but it contains all the essential amino acids, making it a complete protein. Very rare. There aren't a lot of foods that are complete protein with all the amino acids, but it provides a concentrated source of plant-based protein, right? Normally, protein, we think of animal sources, our meats, our eggs, dairy, but this is a plant source. And it's a helpful supplement to add to your diet if you're looking to increase nutrient density because it packs a lot into just this little powder. Um, it has a powerful antioxidant protection. The pigment that gives spirulina its color is a specific antioxidant. And it's like that blue protective shield. It protects the spirulina and then it has protective effects inside our body. And it has tons of nutrients. So spirulina has the protein. It also has iron, magnesium, potassium, B vitamins. Okay, all in that little algae. It's amazing. Practical uses, how you can add it in, adding spirulina into smoothies, energy bites, protein bowls, or just adding it to a beverage. Like spirulina, you'll usually buy in a powder form, or it might come in like a greens product, a superfoods product. Adding it to a beverage, getting it in, lots of benefits. Okay, so I thought that one was really cool. Sometimes it's a little more blue-green in color, and sometimes it's more just green-green in color. You'll see it both ways. Really powerful superfood. And then one last one, and this is probably one you eat regularly. regularly because it is delicious. It's used in a lot of our recipes and it's garlic. And this is an ancient wellness staple. And I want to particularly talk about a compound in garlic called allicin. And I don't know if there's a correlation with the name Allison. It's obviously spelled a little bit different, but I was like, wow, it's literally pronounced the same way. So this allicin is garlic's protective compound. It's the powerhouse compound that's created when garlic is chopped or crushed. Okay, so allicin is not released until you break that garlic. Allicin is a sulfur containing compound that forms when fresh garlic is chopped or crushed or chewed. It's part of garlic's natural defense system, and it's responsible for a lot of the distinct smell and many of the wellness benefits of garlic. So it's so cool. Like that garlic doesn't make allicin until it's activated. It's like God designed it with a built-in response system so that when the garlic cell walls are broken, a chemical reaction creates this protective compound. So cool, right? Next time you're chopping your garlic, you're going to be like, hello, Allison. It's so cool. So I just wanted to highlight some of the benefits because that is such a cool process. So allicin has been studied for its immune system report. It does contain antimicrobial properties. So if you do the honey with the garlic, right, letting it sit in the fridge and then taking it in the winter, part of that is that it's antimicrobial. So it's going to fight those bad microbes that sometimes we've got going on in our system, supports healthy immune function, and helps the body maintain resilience. So garlic's been used for thousands of years, right, as essentially medicine because, yeah, after antibiotics, lowers the inflammation in your body and gets rid of any of those lingering microbes. It has an antioxidant effect, so it's going to promote a healthy inflammatory response. It's also great for your heart, for your gut, and microbiome support. And it contains prebiotics. It acts like a prebiotic, so it's actually feeding the good bacteria in your gut. So I just thought that was fun. Like fun fact that allicin forms after garlic is cut or crushed. And a little tip is to let it sit. So, allowing chopped garlic to just rest for a few minutes before cooking may help to maximize that allicin formation so that you get more of it as you actually ingest it. And just a plug to use fresh garlic whenever you can. I think there is still some of the compound if you buy like, minced garlic or chopped garlic, but anytime you can, get it in the whole form and cut it yourself, you're going to have the most benefit. So just let it rest for a minute, let all that allicin come out, and then you can enjoy it. So that was just another fun one. Probably use garlic just about every day. And it's really packing in so much nutrition for you. Okay, that is all we have time for. I do want to send you guys my little Google form. I always ask if you are able to fill this out with your email address. That puts you on my email list so that I can invite you to our next wellness Zoom because we do it every single month. I have been chatting with some women that I don't want to give anything away, but in the coming months, we may do something on reproductive health. We may have some guest speakers and talk specifically about hormones. And I've got a few guest speakers in the works. So I'm really excited for August and September. And really my message to you tonight is just, it's all about being good stewards of the bodies God gave us, right? We are not chasing perfection or, eating every superfood every single day. Sometimes it's not possible, but all of those little choices just support the way that we were designed. And so thinking about maybe one thing you could take away or add intentionally this month, something as simple as like adding fresh berries to your breakfast, right? Every day. Like how easy, how delicious. Or cooking with more fresh herbs. Trying a mushroom coffee blend, right? Those are out there. Adding spirulina to a smoothie or use garlic more intentionally. Maybe you buy whole garlic instead of using garlic powder. And I know for me in a perfect world, I'd eat like all the herbs and all the things every day, but it just doesn't always happen. So I have been using a superfoods powder just to get all of these nutrients we talked about tonight in, as well as 60 other nutrients that, we just don't have time to go into. So that is an option. There are great options out there. If anyone wants to know my routine, you can always reach out and message me. I'm happy to share. what I use. But hopefully you guys learned something new tonight. I would love to keep you guys in the loop for future Zoom. So please grab that link. And if you're watching this recording, you can always reach out to me if you need wellness support or have questions. You can find me, Brittany Raup, on Facebook, or my Instagram is Raising the Raups if you want to message me there. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. And thank you for joining me for our little talk about superfoods. See you next month.